This is Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust that you'll consider this like a vitamin or a supplement for your heart and mind. And wherever you receive podcasts from, if you would please download and subscribe to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, leave a rating and a brief written review. It'll be helpful for others to be able to locate this podcast. You can get it on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Podbean, on it goes. And I'd be honored if you would subscribe. I want to fill in the blank today on this sentence. Leaders are. I have spent some time on these podcasts defining who a leader is. And as you know, I try to use in an overarching way the largest possible, the broadest possible definition. Because whether you have an official title as a leader, all of us are leaders, and one of the most important places we lead is in our own lives and with our family, our friends, the volunteer organizations we're part of, our church. And then regardless of whatever kind of a position you hold where you work, you are leading yourself and you are a part of the leadership team, whether you have that title or not. But for those who have leadership positions, or those who strive or think or dream or aspire to be a leader in some way, shape, or form, we begin to ask ourselves, what is it to be a leader? What are the characteristics? And we've gone over this several times, but today I think I want to give you 6 things that I think. It's not exhaustive, and we could add more. You would have more suggestions, and I'd be happy to hear your suggestions. But let's just spend a little bit of time talking about these 6 areas of leadership. The first that I would say is leaders are hardworking. Now, unfortunately, life circumstances seems to allow people to fall in one or two extremes. For so many years, I was a pastor and now work with pastors, and I can kind of see it happens there. It happens everywhere. But our world seems to be a world of extremes. And you either have leaders who are workaholics, who work all the time, who hardly take time off, who neglect their families, who neglect their own personal self-care, or you go to the other continuum of folks who do just the bare minimum, what they can barely accomplish, barely get done without bothering their relaxed lifestyle. They stay in bed late, they while away the hours watching television, doing other kinds of mindless chores that over the years to them has taken on a significance, and it's not making any kind of a difference. So can I bring it in from the two extremes and say there is something we need to learn from both sides? Hard work is good. Working hard while you're working is good. Making work your religion is not good. Taking time off, relaxing, spending time with family and friends, enjoying meals, having times of vacation and Sabbath and days off, that is good. Being stinking lazy, that is bad. So let's bring the two extremes from workaholism to laziness. Let's bring it to the middle and say this: when you're working, working. When you're playing, play hard. When you're relaxing, relax with all of your energy that you have to relax. When you're spending time with your family, be present. Several months ago, my wife and I were with a group of Christians on a cruise, and we all sat at the same table for the evening meal, and I was amazed at a young couple with a little boy. The boy was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and they were at the table adjacent to ours. And here they are, and you know they spent money for this cruise, and they'd had wonderful experiences, whether they went on excursions or stayed on the boat. But every night, the husband and wife had their telephone in front of them and continually were working the telephone, scrolling through Facebook or whatever else they were doing. The little boy was somewhat self-entertained. They ate the meal without hardly ever looking up or looking at the meal. And I sort of chuckled a little bit that if all you were going to do was fork food in your mouth and scroll through your phone, you could have saved yourself a few $100s and stayed home and done that. What it means is technology, as wonderful a gift as it is with so many powerful benefits, can also get us distracted. And here's what I think happens. Wherever you are, be there. When you're at work, work hard. When you're at home, be fully present at home. When you're having a meal with someone, be fully present. So when I'm saying that leaders are, and I say they're hardworking, would you maybe substitute the word leaders are always present? Be where you are and give it your full attention and your full idea that this is where I am and this is where I need to be. So leaders are both hardworking and present. That's number one. The second is leaders are relaxed. And you're going to say, Dr. Ron, you've just contradicted yourself. You just gave us this wonderful definition of workaholism on one extreme and stinking laziness on the other, and that we really need to meet in the middle, and that's true. But you can be a hard worker and you can work hard while you're at work and still be relaxed. Today I took the car to get it washed. And it's one of those where you drive it through, but then they wipe it off and help you with it. And so I had my Kindle with me and I was reading, and there was an elderly lady there that was walking back and forth like a caged cat. She was so anxious to get her car and for them to get done. And she just was wearing out a path. And it's a beautiful day where I'm living today. So I was sitting on the bench outside. I was reading my Kindle. And I'm trying to learn this because I did not come by it naturally. But I'm trying to learn that if things are out of my control, relax, control what you control, leave the rest of it in God's hands. But here she was, fussing at the staff, walking back and forth, looking over their shoulder as if somehow by magic that was going to push them on down the road more quickly. And here's the sad truth. Our cars were pulled side by side and they were ready to go at the same time. Who enjoyed the trip? This woman who was like a caged lion, upset with everybody, they weren't working quickly enough, or this old guy sitting there reading his Kindle, enjoying the beautiful weather, and I still got my car done at the same time she got hers done. Relax. The world isn't going to come to an end if you take a 5-minute coffee break. The world is not, we give this impression, we all love to say, oh, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, I'm so busy, as if it's our religious experience and it's our testimony. Be relaxed. Live in the moment. It'll keep you from being stressed. When you get in your car, I've been doing this for months and it helps. I'm just going to be patient. If somebody wants to cut in front of me, God bless you, have a good day. I'm not going to raise my blood pressure. I'm not going to get anxious. And here's what I've noticed by the people who race around you on the wrong side and they get in front of you because you're going so slowly. And when you get to the next stoplight, you're right exactly behind them. All of their fussing and weaving on in and out of lanes and racing ahead, we all have to deal with the same stoplights. And we're all pretty much going to get there at the same time. But I've noticed that though leaders are busy, they're never really in a hurry. They're relaxed. They know that they will have ample time and ample resources and ample ability to get done what they need to do. Quit stressing over everything. Quit being in such a hurry that you suffer from hurryitis and it's become almost a terminal disease. A real leaders are relaxed. All right, they're hardworking or present. They're relaxed. Listen to this one, please. Leaders are not grudge holders. You are going to have to learn in life to let it go. As a matter of fact, I do this thing nearly every evening. After I've prayed, after I've read my Bible, after I've done my evening routine, I sit on the edge of the bed. I learned this from a mentor back in 1978. I sit on the bed and I just, with my closed fists, open my hands toward heaven and give it all to God. I'm going to bed. I need sleep. The Bible tells me God doesn't sleep, so he's going to be awake anyway, so he may as well watch over it. I can. And if he allows me breath in the morning, I promise I'll pick up that load that is mine and carry it on. The other thing is you need to give people up to God. All of us have been hurt. The opposite side of that coin is also true, my friend. All of us have hurt someone. Don't be the people who will not forgive, who allow a bitter root to spring up. They hold on to grudges, and we think it hurts them. We're the ones that hurts. You know, the lack of forgiveness, the greatest quote about that, by me not forgiving you, I'm drinking poison thinking you're going to die, and I'm the one that's affected. Probably a not very churchy illustration of this, but one of my favorite is, while you're sitting home mad, holding a grudge, the people you hold the grudge against are out dancing. That was what Buddy Hackett said. Meaning this, my anger, my lack of forgiveness, my holding and festering grudges in my life affects no one but me. And if you're going to be a leader, you're going to have to let go of the hurts, let go of the disappointments, let go of the grudges. There are people in our families who have hurt us and wounded us deeply. There are people that we've invested in, we've spent time with, we have poured our lives in, who have just about walked away from us and said hateful and hurtful things. There's no one who is exempt. There is no such thing as a pain-free life. And if you're going to be a leader, you have to begin to let it go. Don't hold a grudge. Move on. The prisoner you're going to set free is indeed yourself. The fourth thing that I would say about leaders is that leaders are ambitious. Now, I know that's almost become a dirty word. Now, I'm not talking about ambitious to the fact that they would do unethical, illegal, immoral things in order to get ahead. But I'm saying their ambition gets them out of bed in the morning. They believe they were endowed by their Creator with special things in order to get some things done. They believe that they can make a difference. If they can't make a difference in the entire world, they can make a difference in their world, their family's world, their friends' world, where they work, their church. They can make a difference, and they have an ambition. Here's what your ambition should be. I want to be all that God created me to be, and I want to do all that He wants me to do, and I want to make my little corner of the world a little bit better. I can't change all the nonsense in Washington, D.C. and around the world. I can't change all of the crisis, but I can make this world a better place by being the best me right where I am. And my ambition every day is to make a difference. My ambition every day is to make anyone who comes in contact with me feel a little bit better than they did before they encountered me. I want the organizations where I serve, I want them to be better because I was there. A leader, you have to have ambition. You have to be attempting to do something. The fifth one, I think we're at number 5, and that is leaders are motivated. When I was starting out in life, I don't know that I was even familiar with the word entrepreneur. But you just have to be motivated. The day of someone looking over your shoulder telling you everything that you need to do are passé. It may have been your school teacher, your pastor, your mom, your dad, or even your boss. But even now, when someone gives you a position, they're expecting that you have the ability, you have the wherewithal to get that job done. You cannot motivate someone else. You have to motivate yourself. And so that comes from feeding our mind, good literature. That comes from feeding our spirit, not being in a negative vibe. That comes from letting go of past hurts and complaints and grievances and letting go of the grudges. Leaders are motivated to make a difference. My friend, are you motivated to make a difference? That's what leaders do. The sixth thing that leaders are learners. They never feel that they know it all. They always know they can be constantly, continually improving. What is something new that you've learned today? Leaders are always learning. And the seventh and the final one is that leaders are determined. What separates one person from another? What separates a person from making a difference and being different and really succeeding? It is just making up your mind that I'm determined, I'm going to make a difference, things are going to be better where I am. I am going to be the one who helps push the ball forward, moves the needle, whatever cliche you want to use. Are you determined to get out of bed tomorrow and to make a difference? Are you committed to being the best equipped, best prepared, a leader who shows up, and when you're there, you work at it, and when you go home, you're present there? We need leaders who have just determined, with God's help, I'm going to do and be the best that I can be. You've been listening to Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom, and today we've talked about leaders are. And listen to me, leader, you are doing better than you think you are. This has been Dr. Ron's Words of Wisdom. Words on leadership, goal setting, productivity, and a whole lot more. I trust today that you have considered this your vitamin and supplement for your mind and heart. And wherever you receive podcasts from, it makes a difference. It's so vitally helpful if you will subscribe and leave a rating and a brief written review. Remember, leaders are hardworking, relaxed, they don't hold grudges. They're ambitious, they're motivated, they're constantly learning, and they are determined. And remember this, my leadership friend, you are doing better than you think you are. And until next time, this is Dr. Ron saying, have a great and blessed day.